Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the Do you know? No matter what,
you were not prepared.
I wasn't prepared. And do you want to know something? No matter what I do with OBS, it will not stop the video at that point. It always shuts it down, as if it's about to re-loop it all the time. Right, I need that.
You'll have to put a big end on. You'll have to redo it and just put.
I know.
Like 20 seconds worth of.
Yeah, like a minute and a half or something. Yeah, I can do that. That is possible. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's exciting adventure in the Odes campaign in the land of Mithras, which is a percentile dice game. Very similar fantasy setting to Dungeons and Dragons, but about 500 times better, just to let you know. It's a very dangerous world. Magic does exist. You have theses instead of clerics. You have sorcerers instead of magic users. And we don't have any animists, so I can't say that, who deal with spirits. But yeah, so basically it's about the same. So hopefully if you enjoy a fantasy setting, then you will enjoy watching tonight's stream. Just to let you know, combat tends to get a little bit dangerous. The party very often chops people's arms off, heads off, etc., etc. And it has not happened to them yet. Oh, yes, it did happen. There was a character called Briggs who got his arm very badly battered by a bird, I think, on a boat.
Seagull.
A seagull. It was a passing seagull that flew past. And
had a quick nip at him.
With a beat of its wing. Broke Briggs's arm, which was very sad indeed. However, you might notice that just down there, Raph Inspired is not with us tonight. He has decided to go off to South Pax or Pax South. Who's clicking? All I can hear is click, 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 click. He's gone off to South Pax or Pax. Which way? It was Pax South or something like that. So he will not be with us tonight. I hope he's having a lovely time with his dog, doing whatever you do at South Pax. I didn't get an invite. Did anybody else get an invite?
No, it's a bit far for me to go, to be honest with you.
Where is it?
It's in America.
Yeah.
Well, that's far enough for me.
Is that I'm not going anywhere across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. Plus, I don't have a passport.
No, so I don't have a passport either. So, but is it in like Texas or like down in Florida or something like that?
Do you want me to Google it for you?
Yeah, I thought Mr. Pickles would know.
Where is?
I have no idea. I just know it's across the country from me. So
2018.
All right. The other thing that I was just looking at this.
It is in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, Texas. Oh, right.
Well, it's at TX.
Yeah, that's Texas.
Yeah.
I was looking at this picture that's on the opening screen for a while the other day, and what's I'm just pinging it. You might have to scroll down. What's this guy wearing?
I don't know.
It looks like he's got like a hoopla on the top of his helmet.
Maybe it's for parachuting dwarves or something like that.
Yeah, this sort of like catch them or something like that.
Yeah.
And look, here's Ben. Ben is actually in the front, and isn't that an ingenious way to have your swords crossed on your back?
I was just thinking that he must it must be on sort of like a pivot. So he must, because his arm's not going to be long.
No, his
enough
arm's
to
not
mount,
going
is
to be
it?
long enough. But
Even on a pivot, it won't work.
but there is a fastener here.
Yeah.
So whether or not he fastens it, and
And
this
he's obviously missed leg day as well. Have you seen his legs?
Got
Clearly.
Benjamin's legs.
oh yeah, he's a and I was thinking this is a really interesting place to have a dagger. You know, on your right butt cheek, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then they've got a dog. It is Aaron and Ben together. And what are these?
I reckon it's some type of meat.
Because
Something hanging.
it's hanging
Oh
above.
no, actually no. It's things of wine.
Yeah, that's what, because it's hanging
Because-
above a bottle store.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was very interested that these two people are walking down the road and everybody else seems to be walking up it. There's nobody else walking down at all. Anyway, I thought that was really, really, really interesting. That's what I was doing for some of my time today. Anyway, that's cleared the chat out completely. There's nobody left at all. So let's start the introductions. You'd like to tell people who you are and who you will be playing. And as always, we'll go down there to the ginger-haired wonder.
Oh, that's me. Hello, I'm Chugawugger. I'm not Gingerhead, but the character who I play is. He's called Gulliver, or Gully for short, and he is a apprentice of the Order of the Kraken, which is a sorcery order that exists on Odis, where he is currently residing. He's not from Odis himself. He was sent here by Master Healy to improve his sorcery skills, but not in the way that it's currently going. So, yes, he provides magical support. He's the youngest member of the party. Talks a lot.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And who are you passing on to?
I am going to pass on to Mr. Pickles.
I'm Mr. Pickles. I play our team's theist. I worship the goddess of the light moon because I'm more of a good theist, but I can also sometimes talk with the dark moon, which is, it's a special moment.
Which is scary.
Sometimes you get desperate and people are dying. 'Cause
Yeah.
This is bad sometimes in dangerous ways. My character's from Otis, and that's about that. I'm going to pass the mic to Longshanks. EPG.
Thanks, guys. My name is Longshanks EPG. I play the team's tank. He's the heavy-built, heavily armored warrior of the group called Hengist.
Cool. And as previously mentioned, Aaron is not here. So I will tell you what's going to happen with his character once we sort of like plow into the adventure. Okay, so let me give you a quick synopsis, a quick sneaky peek at what happened last adventure. So if you're watching this, if you're viewing the stream, then you will see some pictures as well. So basically, the party started off in the Hairy Hobgoblin, chatting about what had happened and where they would be going next. And it was while they were doing this that they remembered that they had a map. And Basil Earless, who actually is the proprietor of Hairy Hobgoblin, came over and informed them that if they wanted to really find out anything about the map, they should go and see a scribe called Sylvester Macoon. And this is what he looks like. Actually, I don't mind bringing you guys across so you can remind yourself. And Sylvester Macoon was quite an interesting character, and he was very, very keen to actually buy the map. And but in the end, it was decided that the party would want information rather than allowing him to purchase this. And he informed them to seek out a young gutter snipe called Giselle, who would be able to lead them to the location in the city slums of the where the map pointed. So the party set off into the main areas of Lindo and found Giselle, where there was a bit of an altercation going on, And basically what happened was that Giselle said the purse of a merchant had fallen into her begging bowl, while the merchant said that she had picked her pocket. The party sided with Giselle, and money was exchanged. And I think somebody called the city guard in the end, and the guard came along and they were paid off. And then it was after that Giselle informed the party that she had actually picked the pocket, and thanked the party for letting her get away with it. Basically, money was exchanged, and so was a candle, which was a very nice moment. And Giselle took the party into the slums, to the location of the map that has an X marked on it. As they were going down there, the party had to suffer bottles being thrown at them or rolled off roofs at them, and then attacked by a pack of what appeared to be hunting dogs, or maybe just a pack of rabid dogs. Luckily nobody was bitten, and the party then descended a set of ladders down, after they had lifted up a grate, into a stone room, and that is where we will pick it up. Okay guys, can you just make sure that you can all use your character, please? Excellent. Okay, so just to bring you up to date briefly what happens at this point. It is at this point that Aaron decides that underground is not the best place for his dog to be, and decides that he's going to head off to follow Giselle and to see where she actually goes, and who she may be, who she goes back to, and whether or not she goes back to stealing and the merchants, etc., etc. And so leaving you three people alone. And if you remember, in front of you there is exactly what you can see there. This almost like it's a cross shape stone chamber is probably the best word for it, and then in between there it's almost like a fireplace, and it's made out of this grey stone. And if you remember, you can see the crack running down in the middle, and you can see that that's been well, just like on the map, as I said before, you can see it's been chipped. And can you see here, it's been chipped and sort of like battered a lot. And if you remember, on the actual, there was in the actual implanted into it this shape, with the grey being the actual grey stone, and the dark grey actually being indentations spread around the grey. And then if you also remember, round about were a whole load of black and white discs that obviously fitted into these holes somehow. The holes are thick enough, or enough depth for one to go in. And if you remember, they're all sort of like different shapes. Some of them are whole circle, some of them more crescent, some of them are more semicircle, etc. And that is where we left it last week. So before we start, is there anything that you would like to ask? Before we start the adventure, that is.
Yeah, at the end of last adventure, at the end of the combat, Gulliver was winded. Is that?
Yeah, you probably, once you get down the ladder, you probably have rested. So anybody who's got any degree of fatigue will have gone. And because you would have had the discussion with Aaron about what he's going to do, and he would have set off. So you would have waited enough time. Luck points are back. Magic points are, however, not back. So you don't have, if you spent any magic points, you do not have them back, unless, of course, you wish to rest here for a night or whatever. That's completely up to you. The grate is open up at the top, and roughly, Bartleby, where you are is where the ladder is. If you remember, you came down a ladder. I will draw it on for you. Just so you can, it sort of like comes down here Like
You're not doing
so.
it 3D then?
No,
Okay. Fine.
just like that. Okay, right then, guys. Off you go. It's all over to you.
Okay, so it's about 12 o'clock midday. I think we worked it out. So there will be sunlight coming down into this underground chamber.
Certainly will be.
But Gulliver's going to start looking around, see whether or not he can find any torch bracket or lantern or tinderbox, anything like that, to provide some more light.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because he didn't know we were going on an adventure, a lot of his stuff's back still in the inn, because as far as he was concerned, he was just coming to see a cartographer.
Yeah, okay then. So that's what Gulliver will start going around, searching the place to see whether or not there's anything else. Bartleby and Hengist, what would you like to do?
I'd like to equip a candle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you will.
Not light it, just hold it.
Yeah.
in my
Okay.
hand.
And would you like to stay where you are or move or...
I'd like to move forward and start examining all of the different discs.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, okay. And Hengist, what would you like to do?
Angus will sort of like do a quick circuit of the room, making sure there are no other doors or trapdoors or anything in walls or floor, and then he'll sheathe his sword and if Gully's found a torch by that time, he'll offer to hold it.
Okay, so Gully, you set off round one way, sort of like anti-clockwise from where you are, and Hengist, you set off clockwise from where you are as well, and you sort of like get through, sort of like checking everywhere, and Bartleby, you sort of like start to look at the floor there. When you get to this point, when all of a sudden you hear the soft fall of somebody else coming down the ladder.
Gulliver's going to quickly turn around.
Yeah, hang on. I assume you all turn around just out of interest to see what it is. And what stands before you, almost like not... He's not prone, he's almost like cat-like landed, one hand out, and he appears to be carrying a quarterstaff in the other hand. You also notice that on his belt, he's carrying two smaller sticks on either side, and you also notice that in a classic in Wills, he has a chest harness with knives on, and shows he sort of like lands with the softest of sounds ever. He immediately turns around to, he looks exactly how he looks in the picture. In the token, there's no different in his looks. I'm just blowing it up on screen so people can see it bigger on the stream. He is quite well built. He's quite muscular in that sense. He does have various bits of metallic armor and various bits of what appears to be fur or hide in various places. He has no hair on his head and a rather stern but yet relaxed view, sort of like caricature in his eyes, and he's just sort of like lands, and he sort of like lands one hand out and staff out, and then before he even sort of like stands up, he sort of like just says to you all together, he just says, "Please do not fear. I am here to help." And then he regains his posture and stands up with his staff that almost look like in the classic magic user staff pose.
What do you mean you're here to help? Who sent you? It took us ages to find this place. We actually had to hire somebody to find it, and that you just come in and fall down the ladder. And who sent you?
I must admit, to a slight degree of underhandness. I have been following you. So you yourselves led me here.
I didn't see you. Did you see him, Bartleby?
No.
Few
what
see
about you,
us.
But
Angus?
perhaps my goddess did.
Few see us. We are somewhat well trained in the art of stealth and keeping ourselves secret from others.
Are you a thief?
No, I am far from being a thief. I would not steal or even assassinate or anything like that. My morals are a lot, shall I say, higher than that.
Can Gulliver make an insight roll
You certainly can, Mr. Insight.
to see whether or not
I'm sure Gulliver has an insight of like 94.
the person in front of him is
Hope.
fabricating the fabrics of truth at all?
Yeah, he's telling the truth. Most definitely. If you do have insight rolls, guys, and remember, if you would like to roll them just to me, you can use !B roll and then just 1d100 and tell me your skill, and then I can tell you what you know if you would prefer to keep it secret. So you actually don't really know whether or not you succeeded from the roll, but if you're quite happy to role play it out, then that's absolutely fine.
Gulliver's going
he's telling the
Gulliver's
truth.
going to approach him.
Yeah,
He's going to say, "Hello, I'm Gully."
he sort of like he somewhat bows towards you, even though how tall is Gully?
Just over 5 foot.
Right. Okay. Then. So this guy is 6'2", so he's somewhat bigger. So you sort of like get really close to him.
153 centimeters.
Yeah, and you sort of like look up to him, so you just sort of like see over his chest, and he says, "Greetings, Gulliver. My name is Oki."
Okay. Oh yes, got to have it spelt right for my log. So who sent you, Oki?
I am on a personal mission. It would appear that we are on a similar quest, searching for a similar end. I search the Templars in order to try to find out an answer to the question about the seeds.
The Templars who stole the seeds from the sorcerers. Is that who you seek?
I do not know whether or not they stole them or not. However, I seek to find that out. But yes, I do indeed intend to find out that information. Hopefully, maybe by assisting you fellow adventurers.
I have a very important question for you, Oki. Very important.
Yes, I do like cheese.
I was going to ask whether or not you had. How do you know I like cheese?
I don't trust this
Can
individual. I'll
Gully,
cast a
can
prayer
Gully
to my
remember?
goddess.
I didn't hear that, sorry. I didn't hear either of them.
Go ahead, Gully.
Gulliver tries to remember whether or not he's actually seen him in the tavern at all in Basil's the Hairy Hobgoblin. Any time during the last since we've been in Lindo.
Yeah, add your intelligence and your willpower together then and double it up and then roll it.
Intelligence and my willpower.
Yeah, because intelligence is not memory is not just intelligence. It's also that almost like that intuition. So instead of doing a normal roll and then multiplying it by 5, put them both together and then double it up roughly and then add a half if you wish. If you just tell me what are they added?
My willpower is a skill rather than an attribute.
Oh right, sorry. Let me just. I forgot that. Yeah, sorry. Your intelligence and your power is the two that I wanted.
Okay, so 29 is
Double
those
it
two
up.
together.
Just multiply it by 2.5.
Okay. And then just roll a d100.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the question? Oh yeah. You
Whether or
do.
not we've ever seen Oki.
You do remember now that you see him, but what you fail to remember is that you don't think you've seen him in this sort of like form, in this sort of like attire. You think you've seen him sitting in the hairy hobgoblin, and also walking around the street, but he tends to be more, shall we say, covered up. And it's only his eyes on that roll, which is like a crit, that you recognize now, and you sort of like almost like remember his eyes, because he's normally he normally has sort of like a big robe and a cowl, and his quarterstaff tends to be almost like a walking staff.
Okay. Gulliver's going to turn around to Bartleby and say, Bartleby, do you have any way of lighting that candle?
I do not,
Oh.
but my goddess will show me the path with this candle.
Okay,
It would
sort
be
of like
really helpful for the rest of us if it was lit.
Oki sort of like looks ahead and sort of like says, "It seems that there is somewhat of a puzzle to gain entrance." Hengist, you finish your sweep right the way around, and you can't see any. Or you can roll your perception, but yeah.
All 21 of it.
Yeah, you don't see any, find any secret doors or trapdoors or anything like that.
Gulliver's going to approach Bartleby. He's going to keep an eye on this Oki person.
Oki goes over that side and sort of like starts to peruse what's going on.
And Gulliver's going to say, "Have you worked it out yet, Bartleby? Do you know how it opens?"
I don't. I keep looking at these discs and I can't help but think of my goddesses.
How many is there? How many discs is there?
I don't know.
How many bits? Maybe we should gather them all up, because they're the same depth as the indentations in the circles, aren't they?
I suppose so. It does look like that, but some of them weren't complete discs. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
Let's gather them up and count them.
You gather them, or they're in multiple colors too, right?
Yeah, there's black discs and there's white discs, and if one person would like to make a customs roll for me, whoever's got the highest, whoever's trained in the skill first. Who's trained in the skill?
I am at 33.
I am.
I've
But
got
my customs are from the old world.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. So Bartleby,
mine would be as well.
yeah, roll.
mine's 62.
Yeah, but Bartleby, roll your customs.
Excuse me. Just a quick one. Bartleby said his was how much?
33.
You get a plus 40 on customs as in character generation as standard.
I thought that was, as well as locale.
No, you don't get it on locale. It's in customs, I do believe.
You said locale last week.
I didn't.
Yes, you did, because we all changed our locale.
I changed my customs, and I told you I'd done it on my customs, and you.
I think I changed everybody's locale rather than the customs.
Oh no, you changed the wrong one.
Whereabouts is it?
And I'm just checking now.
Because on my normal customs, I've got training experience 40, and then you put locale of previous land in.
Yeah, so I've moved your locale across.
Yeah, applied the static bonus to customs and native tongue. They are 40% each.
Okay.
Irrespective of the cultures shown.
Cool. So you need to remove it from locale then and add it on to customs.
So I get rid of locale of previous land.
No, you need to. Remove the 40 from that. Yeah, cool.
Okay, well that makes my customs really awesome. 73.
Yeah, cool. So give it a roll.
Yeah, can't fail this one.
Yeah, you figured that the black and the white discs demonstrate the phases of both Amril and Magoth in the sense of different phases of the moons. So there's some that are completely full, some of them that are half, some of them are crescent, some of them are waxing, some of them are waning. So some of them, I'll just draw it onto the thing for you. So some of them are like that, and then some of them are like that, which of course you'll be able to flick over to do both of them. You also, it's quite easy to sort of like recognize that there are more discs than the 8 circles on the floor.
Is there any discs that are full, as in a full circle?
Yes, they go from being completely full. There are some crescents, some half semicircle ones as well. So you've got all the phases of the moons, but missing out the sort of like the very harvest moons, which are very narrow and things. It's literally full half crescents.
So Gulliver's going to gather them all up, and he's going to put them in this area here, so that we've got the light coming down from the from the thing, and he's going to count them up. Is there 14 in total?
14?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
You figure that there's eight circles on the stonework, and you figure there must be near on 20 discs. And you do notice, Gulliver, as you collect them up, then some of them look like they've been chipped and damaged. And you do notice that one of the one of the semicircle ones that you sort of like pick up, that you thought were 2 white discs, when you're actually putting them on the pile and you suddenly put them on top of the others, you suddenly realize that actually it's not 2 halves. It was actually a full one. And it looks like it's been snapped in half. And you can see right the way down the middle, it's all sort of like jagged. And it's almost like somebody's got it and sort of like hit it with a weapon or cracked it or something like that. And
so putting those two together, would one make sort of like a white full circle?
Yeah, but it looks like it was a white full circle. And somebody's damaged it, or something has damaged it.
So going over and having a look at the actual bit in the middle.
Yeah.
Does it look like maybe on this area here, does it look like maybe somebody's tried to bash their way through it with, sort of like maybe prise it open? Or
Yeah, so down the centre, you can see definitely down the centre, and I think you can actually see it on the actual map. It looks like some people have been either trying to hack at it, say, or putting a chisel in and whacking at it to sort of like almost like prise their way in. And just to let you know, then it's obvious that there was never a stone here or underneath where you two are stood at the moment. So it doesn't look like they've prized a stone off or anything like that.
Okay, so looking round the outside of it, going right the way around, is there any signs that it might have this bit or this bit might have moved? Is there any scraping marks or scratches in sort of like this area here or this area here?
Okay, you can make a perception roll, but due to your lack of light, this is going to be quite a formidable check at the moment. Yeah, no, you don't see any scraping marks. You can see from where the actual map, there's quite a lot of cuts and marks on the pavement in any case, and plus it is paved as well. So this front block could actually slide along here if that's what you're thinking. Can you see the actual cracks, the actual sides of the slabs? So it could actually move along there, and therefore it wouldn't actually leave anything at all.
Okay. So Gulliver's going to go up to Bartleby, and he's going to say, "Did you say there was something to do with the moons?" Bartleby.
Yeah, I'm trying to visualize how if these are moons, how they would look. Kind of picking up pieces and trying to make a full moon cycle, but starting with the light moon at the top circle, and then going clockwise. I'm just messing around with it right now. I'm over.
As Bartleby doing that.
You should be able to draw on it if you wish.
Oh.
Actually draw on the map.
Oh, I just took the image of the circle with the indentations, and I was playing with it in paint.
All right, yeah, but yeah, I can't see that. But if you say for example, you wanted to sort of like say, that you wanted to start filling it in, you could actually say, I put that there if you wish, and it'll come up in your color, or you can change your color, of course, just by holding down on your what is it? Is it left clicking on left clicking on your color next to your name if you don't fancy green?
I'm fine with green.
Maybe all this is just to put people off. Maybe this isn't really the entrance, because everybody's going to think that, coming down here and seeing all these discs and seeing this bit in the middle, that's going to be an entranceway, aren't they? But what happens if the entranceway isn't actually there? Maybe it's a secret door within the walls. I could check for that.
Secret entrances in the walls, Gulliver.
Yeah, like you push a stone and a doorway opens.
Hengist at this point says, I've already been round the walls and checked for secret doors, and he says, I didn't find any.
I'm not being funny, Hengist, but you don't find much when you look.
That's true.
What you help Bartleby, Hengist, and I'm going to have another look just to see whether or not I can find anything.
Okay, so if you're repeating any check, then remember that the difficult rating is increased by 1 level.
Okay. So Gulliver's just going to do a thing of the wall, just sort of like checking stones, looking to see whether or not any's are further out.
Yeah. Do you have any skill to augment it at all? So
no, he's purely using his perception.
Right. So you're just going around and having a look then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. So Bartleby, it looks like while he's going round, you're busy. Are you busy looking at these shapes and starting to put them in? Is that?
I'm trying to learn how to draw on this.
Okay, you're doing well so far.
Oh, looky here.
Yeah, well done. Okay, so you're feeling. Hengist, what will you be doing?
Hengist is going to stand there, watching Bartleby, looking at what he's doing, and try and sort of like think along the same sort of lines. But it's kind of sort of like out of his sort of experience of. Yeah,
you don't really know anything about the phases of the moons. That's not something you sort of like come across before. Maybe if we're talking about how to hold a sword, you would be in there most definitely.
Exactly.
Okay, then
he's going to try and help. He's going to sort of like pick one up and look at it, and then sort of like hold it out to. It sort of like random and go, what about this one?
Yeah, or maybe you can
try and be very helpful like that.
Yeah, maybe you can actually give him what he asked for. So like, pass me one of those, please. Okay, Gulliver, is that your perception roll there that you've just done?
No. That was the old perception.
Yeah.
That was my perception to see whether or not any of the stone blocks had actually moved.
Oh yes, yeah, got you. Yeah, roll your perception then. No, you don't. You spend a long time looking at all the doors, all the walls as you walk around, even after Hengist has done it, and you still don't find any secret doors or trap doors or anything like that.
Okay, so Gulliver's going to come back and say, "I've had a good look, and I couldn't find anything. How are we getting on with the Oh, not very well."
My mangled hands, you guys can see me having a hard time picking things up, and I keep dropping the slender pieces.
It's looking good. It's looking good. I'm just moving things around so it marries up with the what's happened to the one down at the bottom?
It's got a hat on it.
Right, okay.
Shouldn't a big piece go with a little piece?
Hengist, I'm just moving you slightly, just so I could put. So that's roughly what it looks like. So,
Cool.
Shouldn't a big piece go with a little piece? So if you got like a little piece, shouldn't a big piece go on the other side of it to make a full circle?
I think you're right.
Gulliver will get sort of like two pieces, sort of like a thin crescent and a big crescent, and sort of like see whether or not they go together.
Two crescents.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, Gulliver doesn't know what they're called, but if there's sort of like a small,
Just draw what you're talking about.
right. So if there's a really thin piece like that and a bigger piece.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Like that, but more like that, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. So if I tell you
to make a circle, sorry, it would be the other way.
Right. So can you see what Bartleby has drawn at the top,
Yes.
sort of like the north?
So this is what Gulliver was thinking, but because I mean, even he knows that to make a circle.
Okay.
Something like that, you're going to have a big piece and a little piece.
Yeah. So just to reiterate, so can you see the top and the bottom, the 12 and the 6? There are pieces like that. And can you see the ones at 3 and 9? There are pieces like that. Now, the one on the northeast, the only thing that exists is that top crescent, that the thin part that Bartleby is busily about to colour in black, it looks like. Yeah. There is not the other part.
Oh.
So
But is there two pieces that would make it?
no, because if you
Because
think...
you said that there was 20 pieces in total.
Yeah, but there's not just 8 pieces that will go into these. So that one that Bartleby's put in the northeast one now, there is nothing that will fit into that blank gap. And just like the one that he's put in the southeast one, there is nothing that will fit into that big gap. They all are, okay, they are hulls, halves, or they are crescents. And the crescents are either like this or like that. But because of it, if you think about it, you can flip them over. So really and truly, the one that is placed here would actually flip over and still be placed the opposite way round on that side.
And they're all different colours.
They are either the important. Hang on, I just need to move Oki because he's messing up my. They are they're not all different colours. They are either. They are either black or white, and that's it.
And are there? See, these ones here is a sort of like a black and a white one of these.
Correct. And there are some that you think were once whole ones, but somebody's obviously got quite angry with them and snapped them in half.
Okay, so can Gulliver spend his time looking at the ones that don't look like crescents or the ones that are disc-shaped and see whether or not he can put them together?
You mean the halves?
Yeah, sort of like matching them up.
Well, they all fit together.
Right, okay.
So in the one at 3 and 6, the one at 3 and 9 can have 2 black semicircles in or 2 white semicircles in, or a black and a white in. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Could Angus make an intelligence roll? And then I want to message you on Discord because I don't know if he would know this.
Yeah, by all means.
Thank you. What do I need to do for an intelligence roll?
It depends what you want. It depends.
Okay, I'll message you first.
It depends what is. It'll be related to an actual skill rather than anything else.
Gulliver will point at the one down here and say to Bartleby, I think this one here wants to be half black and half white.
I think you might be correct there.
And I think the one opposite it wants to be half black and half white.
I'm just not sure which side is which. Let's see. I think
the right-hand side should be black.
Like so?
Because it's like the black is taking over the circle. Oh. But wouldn't that mean that the one below it was white?
Yeah, I think it's the other way around.
Are you having the black taking over the white? Is that what we're doing? Are we starting off with white and then having the black take over it?
I presumed that Amriel would be on this side of the room arbitrarily. I felt guided to have her at the top here. So I don't know.
Oh, right.
Goes. I think I have to flip it. Like.
Yeah, I can see what you're doing there, don't I?
Yeah. And then that means we can just Gully, if you want to pass me one of those white plates.
Gulliver, pick up a white plate.
They're so heavy when they're these big half versions. Okay.
What are they made out of?
What are they?
Probably if anybody's got a commerce skill, that'd be the easiest one to sort of like, or a specific crafting skill.
You know, Gulliver will have a look on his commerce skill. Gets a standard.
Yeah, they seem just. They seem to be some kind of pot. Similar to things as this, what plates are made out of, but they seem to have some kind of shiny colouring over the top of them.
Okay. Gulliver will pass Bartleby what he asked for.
Thank you, Gulliver. All right. And now I'll take a stand back,
everybody.
See what this does. Oh gosh, I threw some white. Oh gosh.
Oh, who's drawing on them?
I just wanted to step back, and I kept throwing plates down in my pocket, and it fell out as I moved.
Yeah, so you spend a whole load of time and you pass these ceramic discs backwards and forwards to each other, and you play it, and there's lots of discussion about it, and you eventually sort of like get it all set in there, and you sort of like stand back, and suddenly you hear absolutely nothing at all.
Is there a lever or like a stone that you can push near the circles? Is it like a triggered thing, so you arrange it and then pull or push something?
Maybe there's a prayer. Maybe Because
Hang on.
it's to do with the goddesses.
There's no lever apparent, and there's nobody's. It depends where you. If you're asking whether or not there's something on the walls that you push, you've looked there and not seen
No, I mean
it.
like in the centre of the room where the stone plates, pottery things are.
Well, this bit is all sort of on here. Do you mean, or on the actual? Yeah. Well, that's all sort of like chipped away, so it doesn't look like there's anything that you would push there.
Which way does it go? Which way are we looking at it? Is it going clockwise, Bartleby? If we start off at the white bit, is it going this one next and then this one?
Can I fit? This might not make sense, actually. Never mind. It doesn't make sense.
You can't fit two crescents into the same one.
Have we got any pieces left?
Yeah, you got loads. It's not one of these that there's 8 pieces because there's 8 discs. You know, you still got a whole load of pieces left. Lots of. You probably got another one of each one of them, and then a few broken ones and a few chipped ones as well.
Is there anything that would go in here to make this white?
Okay, no.
Right, thank you.
There is nothing that will go into the gaps.
And with these in, are they flush to the end? Are they flush to the level of the indentation?
Oh yes. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, sure as you put them in, they're actually flush, completely.
But they would have to be flush, wouldn't they? Because otherwise, the reason that these are probably broken is that because if people had put them in, they wouldn't be able to get them out again. So that's why these have been broken up, just to make it easier to get it out.
That would be one explanation.
I think I might have just gotten it wrong.
Maybe it's good and evil. Maybe it's not about the moons. Maybe it's good and evil.
Bartleby, if you want to tell me what you're trying to replicate, then you can roll your custom roll, or a roll that you want to do to say whether or not you've actually got it right. I'm quite happy for that.
Okay, so I want it to go. I think I got the order wrong, and the top one needs to be full, like it is, but then it's clear, I guess, here on the next one going clockwise, and have it so the dark moon's moving over it, which makes the next one make more sense. And then I've got to move the other one to the opposite way so that that doesn't make sense, does it?
So so basically, if you're thinking, so this is the top one is the full moon, that is better now. So this would all be white. This would be the next one down would be half white. The next one down would be just the white because the black's over it, and then the black would be completely covering it. And then on the next one, you've got a bit of the black. Then because the rest would be white, half white. I think this one and this one probably needs to be round the other way.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm just trying to make sure I don't mess it up this time. Got to do my pre-sweat.
Don't mess it up, Barbie.
I'm trying not to, Gulliver. The pressure, I can't even look up at the sky and get the right answers right now. I said it like the caves, but I don't know. I might have been a liar.
Might have been easier if you had bought something to light your candle with.
That's very true. The candles are more symbolic, I guess.
Okay, so let's, because of the difficulty of it, let's say that you actually do that round the correct way. So it actually is actually correctly done in what you wish to do. And you sort of like put the last disc in, and again you step back, and nothing happens at all. Nothing at all happens. Oki sort of like says, "There is nothing here."
No, don't give up yet. Maybe we have to stand on it. Gulliver will stand on it and jump up and down.
Yeah, so all of a sudden you see this ginger-haired boy jumping up and down, and Oki just says, "We are wasting our time."
I would like to start praying and waving my arms wildly.
Hengist
Detecting magic.
steps back slightly.
And just avoid getting hit in the face by a flying arm.
Yeah, go for it, Bartleby.
I'm getting my arms moving. Oh no! Can I keep going and spend another magic point?
Yeah, so that will be one magic point gone. That's enough one gone.
I'm tired now. I stop praying. I'm glaring at Oki a little bit, but I don't sense magic or anything abnormal here right now.
Angus is going to look up at Oki, also look round from staring at Bartleby, jumping up and down, waving his arms, muttering under his breath, and look at Oki and goes, if we are wasting our time here, do you know of another lead that we could go to? Is there somewhere that you know of?
Oki just says, "I've been following you. Do we think magic is involved here?"
Maybe we're right, but maybe we're wrong. Maybe we've got them in the right order. Maybe you put them in the right order, Bartleby, but your starting position's wrong. Maybe here is where the good should be, and down here is where the evil should be, and then the evil slowly starts taking away, going here, here, and here, and then good becomes getting better here, here, and here.
Oki, you look around and you see that Oki is sort of like sat down cross-legged on the floor, and he's got his staff sort of like balanced over his lap, and he's holding it, and his eyes are closed. And
we're all bored, Loki, but we have to figure it out.
You hear a soft sort of like coming across the.
Gulliver's going to start moving the bits and bobs. He's going to start changing the position around, so he's going to keep what Bartleby has, but he's going to have the white starting here.
Yeah, okay, got you. So you're just keeping the sequence, but just sort of like swapping it around.
Because Gulliver trusts that Bartleby's got that right. So
yeah.
So, but he's going to start with white here, going round to black here, and then going back up to white. So exactly the same, and then if that fails, he's going to start white here and go into black at the other side.
Yeah, got you. And Bartleby.
And
and Bartleby and Hengist, is there anything you wish to do while this is happening?
Hengist would just make himself useful to Gully, sort of like picking up and passing him the things, and as long as Gully directs him to where he wants the correct stone to go to the correct stone like indent, then and Gully trusts him to do that, Hengist will help doing that. Okay.
And Bartleby, what would you like to
do? You said that some of these pieces look like they were broken.
Yeah, looks like they've been smashed in half.
Okay, this is a long shot idea. I wanna start gathering pieces that look like they've been smashed and try and form those smashed pieces into the area where we don't have anything. I'm gonna go try and set up my base of operations over here so people aren't stepping on my handiwork.
Yeah. So the ones that are smashed look like they were probably whole ones. that have been smashed in half. And the more and more you look at them, the more you figure that they've been smashed in half probably by a weapon or by throwing them up against the wall or something like that. They're not clean breaks. It looks like somebody's got extremely frustrated at them and sort of like thrown them about the place.
That's okay. I just want to get as many broken pieces and fit them as closely as I can to try and make one of these not full circle shapes, if that's okay.
Yeah. So Hengist and Gulliver, you've sort of like readjusted everything in every possible sequence and situation, and nothing seems to work at all. And it's at this point that Oki suddenly stops his humming and stands up, and using his staff, he points over to this wall here, and he says, "There, magic exists."
There's no secret door. I looked to see whether or not there was any stones.
No, he says, it appears to be a brick. He walks.
So?
He walks over to it.
Hengist will, still not 100% trusting him, sort of like following, but stands just to the side and sort of like watching intently.
Yeah, his staff points to a brick, and to all intents and purposes, Hengist, it looks no different at all from all the other bricks. And you just sort of like think, is this a brick? It's literally just a stone brick. It doesn't look any different at all to any of the others. It looks completely and utterly the same.
Gulliver's going to go over and have a look at the one that's been pointed to.
Yeah.
He's going to say, "I'm sure I tried pushing this one to see whether or not there was a secret door, but I'll have another go." And he'll try giving it a push.
Yeah, it's quite high up, but lo and behold, sure as you actually push it, the brick sinks in. And just in front of you, right in front of you, Gully, the whole wall slowly sinks into the ground and reveals like a sloping corridor going down.
Gulliver turned around and said, "Bartleby, I was right. It is a secret door."
Well. It does appear that you were right here. I guess I'll just leave my broken bits and I'm gonna go on over here. It was a terrible idea.
You must have been tired because you didn't see the magic.
Just out of interest, Mr. Pickles, if you had done your role and succeeded in your role, you would have seen the brick as well.
I presumed as much.
So that was the right idea. And Gully, I'm sorry, Chuggerwugger, your comment right the way at the beginning was actually correct. When you said perhaps this is just here to deter people, and so it has no actual reasoning.
Yeah, see, Gully knows.
Hence the chips in the middle of the what you thought was the doorway, and also the broken bits that if you like if you found this place, you would get to the point that you just give up. Just out of interest, you do, Gully and Bartleby, as you approach this slab, it's definitely not a secret door or a trap door or anything like that. It is a magical entrance. It's not levers or anything like that that has made this stone wall go down. It is purely magic, and hence why none of you could actually detect it from secret door checks.
Gulliver's going to go around and he's going to start taking the bits out of here and putting them back on the floor.
Okay, yeah.
And he just wants to scatter them around, and he's going on the thing that if anybody else comes down and they don't see them down there, they might think that we've gone down there and they're going to waste a whole load of time.
Okay, then, yeah, and I understand. So just sort of like randomly putting them around a place, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Angus is going. Angus wants to have a look down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Does the air sort of smell fusty and stuffy, or is it just like the same as the room? He wants to know how fresh the air is, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, you smell no difference in the air at all. You mean there's no sudden gush or anything like that. The air seems quite normal down here. One thing that you do notice that the corridor sort of like slants, not quite as a 45-degree angle, but it's quite a steep angle going down. And you also do notice that on the left and the right side on the walls there are sort of like 5, 3 on one side, 2 on the other side, brackets with torches on them. And then next to each torch, there is tinder boxes, as if they're there for some reason. They're not lit, but there's 3 as you're looking down the tunnel now. There's 3 on the north side and 2 on the southern side of the corridor, and they're sort of like in their brackets, totally dry, and then the little tinder boxes next to them, as if. It's almost as if somebody's expecting somebody.
Okay. Angus will sort of like carefully move to the nearest to the brackets, and he wants to light one of the torches, and then he's going to pull it out of its holder and hold it in his left hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Will one torch be enough? Should we take a spare one just in case? Not lit, but just have it, just in case that one goes out. Because, Briggs isn't with us, but I mean, I don't want to be left in the dark either.
That seems like a good idea, Gully. Would you like to carry it? As I only have one other hand spare, which we may need.
Okay. Gulliver will take a torch and he'll carry it. I don't suppose it'll. Can he put it in the front of his belt?
No, because then the torch would be resting up against you, and so are you set lighting it?
No. I just want to carry a spare one just in case that other one goes out. So he just wants to stick it almost like it was a sword.
Yeah.
Just
sorry. I'd put you onto and are you taking a tinder box as well?
How big are the tinder boxes?
About so big, yeah.
Yeah. Well, can he stick one in his tunic?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
So he'll stick one in his tunic. But his plan is if the other one starts to go low, then he'll light the one off.
They normally last for several hours. So so Henger's shield, I assume, is on your back.
Shield's on back, nothing. Torch in left hand, no helmet, and his right hand is currently empty, but it's sort of like it's quick. He's walking with it next to his side, ready to draw his sword if need be. Okay,
Oki just sort of like readies his staff.
Is the passageway 1 or 2 abreast?
2.
Angus will obviously walk in the front. He doesn't mind if somebody wants to walk with him or not.
Yeah, Oki will walk next to you with his staff ready.
Okay, just be careful of traps, though, Angus. I know your eyesight's not as good as everybody else's, but just be careful of traps.
Well, my eyesight is fine. I'm just not used to looking for that sort of thing.
Okay, well, look for things like stones jutting up, or spikes coming out the side, or little holes, or maybe straw covering part of it. That could be a pit.
Oki turns around to you, Gulliver, and says, "I will keep my eye open as well."
Oh, well, so will I. Right, Bartleby, it looks like it's me and you.
Are you going behind Oki then, Gulliver?
Yes.
Okay. And
Could I
Bartleby?
pick up a crescent piece of white ceramic before?
Yes,
leave?
by all means, add it to your equipment list. And are you going behind Hengist? I mean, what I'm saying to you is that you don't have to walk two abreast if you don't want to walk two abreast. You could go in single file if you wish.
No, Gulliver's quite happy walking behind Oki.
Okay. And Bartleby, where would you like to walk?
I wanted to walk behind Hengist if I can.
Okay, cool.
Gulliver's going to take out the disc that he uses to cast spells through, but the old spells that he used to cast, not the new spells that he now casts.
Got ya.
But he's going to keep it out anyway.
Okay, you head down this this quite angled corridor, and it's your general impression as you go down is that it's quite well made. It's not actually, originally you think it was probably chiseled out of the ground, but now you can see that it's actually been lined with slabs of stone right the way down. The ceiling is somewhat ground-like. It's not sort of like sealed completely, but the ground is completely slab-like. It's like just like walking down a pavement. And as you walk down, the only thing that is changing as you go down is this idea of it's getting colder. And it's getting as you progress down, it's getting colder and colder and colder. And then you notice at the edge of your torchlight, Hengist, that the corridor is opening up into a room beyond in front of you. Now, I'm just going to move you across.
As we were walking down, Gulliver's going to keep looking behind him, especially at the beginning, because he wants to see what happens to the entrance where we came through, whether or not the stone goes back up, or whether or not the doorway recovers itself.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it doesn't look like it does at all.
So anybody who was coming down into that first chamber would see the entrance.
See the entrance? Yeah, they would.
That we came through. Right, that's okay.
Cool. Okay, just 1 second. So I'm going to move you across. Some of you will be able to see some things. Other you will be able to see nothing at all. But as I adjust the lighting, then you will be able to see things. Okay, so just be patient. Okay, and then I know that everybody is up and working. Okay, so first things first, Hengist, you should be able to see your torchlight.
I can indeed.
Yeah. Let me just make sure that I adjusted the... You're suddenly going to, in a second, see a lot more.
Oh, wow, yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Okay. And this is Gulliver. Can you see?
Oh, yeah, I've got part of it, yeah.
Bartleby, can you see now?
I can. Oh.
So, so you sort of like appear down. People on the stream, I'm now looking as if what Hengist would actually see because he's got the torchlight. But you'll also notice if I do this, this is what Gully sees. This is what Bartleby sees. And this is what Oki sees. So you sort of like come down and what you see is that it obviously opens up into quite a big room. You can see that it both goes north and south and straight ahead to the edge of your torchlight. You can also see that there seems to be huge, what appears to be cobwebs, sort of like draped over, sort of like definitely quite a few going northwards, quite a few ahead of you. But nothing apart from right at the edge, I think, of your torchlight. You can probably see some right the way down at the bottom, Hengist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see some straight ahead. You can also see at this point that there's various skeletons, almost like hanging in the webs. The skeletons are very straight. They're not sort of like that. They're very sort of like hands down by the side, and they're just sort of like resting, as if Bartleby is as if they've been laid to rest or ready for cremation, and they're just lying there. Apart from the hands are not crossed over their chests, the hands are down by their sides.
And there's nothing on the floor underneath them, like bits of cloth that might have.
No, there's nothing.
Or armor or.
No, they're just like skeletons. They're not wrapped up in the cobweb. They're just sort of like, they're obviously attached somewhere to the cobweb, somehow to the cobweb, but they aren't sort of like completely wrapped up or anything like that. They're just sort of like lying. Some of them are upside down. Some of them are right the right way. Some of them are completely horizontal. You figure there's probably about, at a quick scan, looking down at the bottom as well, Hengist, as you scan round, you figure there's probably somewhere between 10 or 15 skeletons attached in this web somewhere.
Do they all resemble humans?
If you would like to roll an appropriate skill, I can tell you.
I'm just, I'm just using perception, going on the thing of, 2 arms, 2 legs.
Well, I can tell you quite easily that they've all got 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head.
Okay. And are they all adult size, or is there anything smaller than?
Well, that becomes an issue, but you can roll a perception. The reason I'm saying that is that, remember the goblins that you met. Mm-hmm. Were a lot smaller, so you got a standard roll. So I'll say to you that most of them seem to be the same size, sort of like adult-ish, but there are some that are significantly smaller, but not tiny. You don't think any of them are children.
What do you think it is?
I'm not sure. But whatever it is, the cobwebs are obviously strong enough to hold up the remains of a body. I don't think we should be getting too close to them.
No, I don't think so either.
Is there sort of like a clear path around the cobwebs, or do we have to explore further to see that?
You would have to. All you can see is what's in your light source.
So it's as in the picture?
Exactly what as in the picture. All the cobwebs are exactly how as in the picture.
Hengist, in that case, will slowly and carefully wander sort of a little bit further into the room, but keeping clear of any of the cobwebs. And sort of like casting the torchlight over some of the cobwebs to get a better look at them. Okay,
so this is really important now. So I actually, before anybody moves, I actually need to know what everybody is doing.
Sorry.
Okay, so and how we'll play this is that I presume what your Hengist will sort of like say, right guys, I'm going to move into the room, and then people can decide what they're going to do. So it's almost as if you're doing a plan of action before you go in. So Hengist is going to move closer into the room to about here, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Oki will follow you.
Bartleby will follow.
Gully?
Gulliver looking around and seeing everybody else, he's going to sort of like catch up to everybody else, and he's going to say, maybe the cobwebs are left over from the seed, the first seed that was planted here.
Maybe. Hengist is also going to draw his sword now as well.
Okay, so you can position yourself where you wish to be in
Gulliver's
relation.
going to keep an eye out this way and towards the entrance. So he's going to be sort of like looking round in almost like in an archway between here, here, and here. Sort of like keeping an eye out behind.
Okay, yeah.
Did you see my clicks?
Yes, I did. I just need to do one thing because its character sheet's not aligned. Okay, you hear Oki. He sort of like seems to be muttering under his breath, and Bartleby, you notice that his other hand, the one nearest to Hengist, is making almost like it's a bit like you when you spell cast. And he sort of like does large sweeping movements, and then at the last one just sort of like comes in front of his head, his hand like this, and he sort of like brings it down, and oh, boom! Watch out, people!
No, your rolls are always like that.
And then he turns around to you, and he turns around to you all, and he says, "Be wary, people. I sense danger."
Hengist is going to one-handedly sort of like flex his fingers to adjust the grip of his sword so it's seated in his hand more comfortably.
Gulliver's going to start casting a spell.
Go for it.
I will raise my crescent piece and candle in a defensive manner.
Yeah, cool. I'm going.
What, the bit of pot?
Don't insult his goddess.
No.
Yeah, I thought we were beyond that, Gulliver. That kind of hurt.
No, that wasn't Gulliver. That was.
I think that was below the belt. I think Gulliver.
Gulliver's spellcasting.
Yeah.
It's all right. It'll take some time. Go for it.
So he's with Oki saying danger. He's going to
yeah,
start-
sorry. And Bartleby, just to remind you, you can spell cast now and hold the spell if you wish until you need it, and you can do various things while you're holding a spell. You can't do a huge amount, but there are certain things you can do, like I think you can walk. Gulliver, tell me. I think you can perform a free action, but you can't do anything like you can't do anything like fight or anything like that. Hang on, I'll tell you. I'm nearly there.
You can.
Then I would like to cast a prayer upon Hengist.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Anybody else having problems with the magic?
You can't get rid of all the
You
others.
can't filter them at the moment.
No, it's not working. They fix one thing, but they all should work.
Yeah. No, I just.
You just
I got
have
completely. I got
you just have
completely confused.
everything up there at the present moment in time. So while you're holding magic, magic holds for as long as it continues to, and so forth, but allows for free use of counter spell reaction if pertinent to this spell. So yeah. Okay. Then, yeah. So make your. Are you actually casting it on Hengist now, Bartleby? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it then. Which one is it? Which one are you doing?
Oh, man, I was gonna do protection.
Yeah. So you lose a magic point.
Yeah. Yeah, protected enough.
Yeah. Just change your thing as well because it still says Mr. Pickle.
Oh yeah, my bad.
And is that your? Do you have your? And so you will do you're holding your spell, aren't you?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's just letting you know what he's doing,
Yeah.
because, of course, you need to know for range and how many targets.
Yeah,
So
but
he's
I also
just-
need
he's-
to know that so you don't change it at the last minute. So we'll do
Yeah.
your invocation spell if and when. Yeah, so Hengist, you hear the mutter of prayer casting behind you, and you know that Bartleby will be blessing you with the power of Amriel, how he's done in the future, in the past. And he sort of like reaches his hand out and touches you, and you almost like feel that sense of warmth coming over you. Bartleby, you just sort of like keep quiet.
You're probably good. Yeah. Oh wait, I see the problem. I didn't touch him with my hand. I poked him with the candle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should. You know what? I'm gonna try this prayer over.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my candle away, and I'm gonna decrease my magic points by 1 and roll. Okay, Hengist. Let me tell you something about Amriel and what she's gonna do for you.
Not.
A whole lot of stuff. You're already protected.
Do you wish to use a
physically,
point of luck? Point of luck would take it down to. You can swap the numbers over to 48, and it will actually cast.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Amriel has something in it for everybody.
So you're putting protection on him, yeah?
Correct.
Cool. Let's give him his little shield. There you go.
Awesome. Angus sort of like feeling someone laying
Touching
their
him.
hand on him from behind.
Thinks it's Dominic.
Oh, Dominic.
Will, I'm not sure I should have thought now, Gally. He will sort of like half turn his head, so like just enough to see Bartleby's face, and just say thank you and thank you, God.
Do you know something really weird happened then? You were all talking, and I was waiting for Oki to say something. I actually thought he was part of your group, and I suddenly thought, is Oki going to say something? And then suddenly realised that I was playing.
Maybe you should have said something.
Yeah, but isn't that strange that I actually thought it was part of your party? Yeah, go for it.
So Gulliver is still, he's got his disc out in front of him, and he's sort of like waving it in a crescent between there, and there.
Yeah, cool.
Torn between two decisions.
Just to let you know, guys, this gap here, you can only probably get down there in single file. Without, if you go down 2, somebody's going to touch the webs.
Are there any sort of like smaller amounts of cobweb in like dangling from the ceiling that aren't attached to the main web or anything? Because essentially Hengist wants to see if they'll burn, so that he doesn't have to pass through them. He can make his own way rather than going a set way.
You can
That seems to
try.
work out.
You can try set fire to them if you wish.
Hengist is going to say to the group, I'm not liking the fact that there's only one set route through the cobwebs. It kind of feels to me like we're meant to go that way. It could be a trap. And as Oki has said, there is danger nearby. He says, I'm going to see if we can burn some of the webs down this way and potentially go that way.
As long as if you don't set fire to the whole place.
I don't think we'll burn it down.
It's stone, Goody.
The
Stone doesn't
warmth
burn
would be
very
nice.
easily. Yeah, and then he's going to carefully go over this way and with his torch just gently touch the spider web.
Yeah,
with the
you
webbing with the torch to try and burn it.
Yeah, you bring the torch down onto it, and it's sort of like singes it as if you're singeing hair, and it's just sort of like sizzles a lot, and you suddenly notice that as you bring your torch to it, it almost like oozes some kind of liquid or goo from it. And as the torch gets closer to it and it sort of like singes like hair, you suddenly notice that all the spider web it's not dry at all. It's thick with what appears to be some kind of glistening substance on it. You're not too sure what it is, but it's not sort of like dry spider's web. It's definitely coated quite heavily with something. And you sort of like take it down, it sizzles, and everybody in the party, you suddenly you notice this smell hits you of almost like in real life, imagine burning rubber. It's a bit like that. As Hengist puts his torch to it, and a small bit of it singes, but it doesn't burn any sort of like hole in it at all.
Gulliver's just wants to have a closer look at these webs here. Does it look like it's mildew?
Hang on, I just need to see what the light is like with you there.
It seems okay.
Yeah, it looks very similar all the way around. It's definitely not mildew. It's definitely some kind of goo.
I think this is going to say, well, that hasn't worked. Looks like it's...
Sorry, I suddenly realised that...
Oh, it's all gone dark now.
Yeah, I suddenly realised that you don't have your... Do you have your dim on the edge of your... You know when you look at your light, does it look bright and then look dim?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
cool.
Now,
It did, yeah.
Now it looks all...
No,
that's
that's how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Hengist is going to say, well, it looks like that didn't work, so it looks like it is plan A, which is walk down the track.
But you touched it with the torch, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Can you cut through it with your sword?
I mean, I
thought we
could.
weren't touching it because you said don't touch the webs. But then you touched it with a torch.
Hengist isn't going to respond to that. He's going to sort of like carefully move this sort of way. In a
Do as I
path.
say, not as I do. Do as I say, not as I do.
Hengist is very carefully ignoring Gully right now.
Okay, so Hengist, you're going to head on down that path. What is there anything you want Oki to do, or do? I'm quite happy for you to tell me what you want him to do, if that makes sense.
Well, if he follows down, if he goes behind Hengist, because this is single file, this bit, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's quite happy to go like that.
And Gulliver will bring up the rear because he's got his spell, and he's more likely to see things than anybody else behind. And as he comes to that, he's going to still be keeping an eye out this way, but he's now also going to be sort of like swinging it in an arc, sort of like here.
Yeah.
And also keeping an eye on in this way now. But he's going to be straining to hear any type of sound coming from behind us. So he's going to be listening as much as he can with his perception.
Okay then. Right. So Hengist, you start to head down this sort of like single path, and I would like you all, please, to roll a standard perception roll, please.
Oh, so close.
Oh, hang on.
So close to a 3 point.
Let me just do.
Go on, Oki. We need you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will tell you when you can actually do something. Okay. So almost like without warning, you sort of like, you're all looking around, and Gully, you're scanning backwards and forwards, and all of a sudden this huge bulk it suddenly drops down from the ceiling. You get this feeling that it's coming down on top of you, and however you all feel it coming down at you slightly at the last moment. Okay, apart from Oki, apart from him who's actually won his perception roll. So could you now please? Oh yeah, it sort of like lands on the ground over the top of you, and I'll tell you exactly what it does in a second. But until now, as you head off walking, this huge thing comes down and lands straight on top of you, and you are suddenly notice this huge spider that lands. Oh, sorry, Gully, you've got the butt in your face. Okay, can you please? I'm just bringing up the combat order. Don't do anything yet, please. Do not do anything yet until I've cancelled everybody. Okay, so can you all roll your initiative?
Yeah.
Oh, solid 9.
Okay, oh yeah, so hang on. That's Oki's, sorry, I had the wrong. Oki's is 15. I'll roll the
I knew it. He's a spider.
Spiders is. I'm just moving the spider because I can't reach.
Average age of the combat veteran.
Oh, hang on. What was 19? Wasn't it? Yeah.
How many times?
No,
does Oki
50.
go in?
Sorry, 50. Yeah. Okay. Now then, so let's put you.
And on because you've got who do you call it? You've got Oki. Oh, there we go. It's
Yeah.
all right.
Is that right?
In your own time.
Okay then. So to start off with, anybody who failed their perception roll is surprised. Okay. So you automatically suffer -10 to your initiative. Okay, so you unless you have a special that you can outdo that, and you can't actually do that in any case. So you automatically, so you should be able to click on your actual character on that order and reduce your initiative by 10. If you can't reduce it by 10, then it just goes to 0. So Hengist, yours will actually be 0.
Yes. Tank but can't do anything.
And yeah, so and for the start of this round, for the rest of this round, this combat round, you can only the number of remainder of the round you may not perform. You are not allowed to perform any offensive actions.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can only do reactive defensive actions if you failed your initiative, your surprise action.
What does release and hold spell class as?
Casting the spell, that's the same as casting the spell, and that is proactive. You can, however, counterspell, because that is reactive. You can evade. You can interrupt. Oh no, interrupt is that if you've delayed and you haven't delayed, or you can panic.
Hold spell.
Hold spell is proactive. Okay, so so what? Hang on. So let me just get the first round over and done with, because Gulliver, you're going to be the only one who can actually act in this, and because you're not at the front, you're not going to have to worry about any offensive reaction or anything. Who would like to be controlling Oki in this combat?
I will.
Okay. Let me just... Well, what I'll do, look, I'll stick you all onto him, and then you can do... Whoever's sort of like free at that time can sort of like do it. Can you not change any of his abilities or anything like that? But just sort of like keep it so you know who's doing what. Okay, so can you please, the first thing that Oki will do as the spider sort of like drops down on him. The spider drops down on 19 and lands on the ground. That's its movement. Okay, and then on 15, okay, Oki can, if you wish, he can actually roll and make an evade roll to get out the way. And that's what he can do with his surprise, or he can do whatever you want as the spider lands on him. He will be crushed underneath the spider if he does not roll out the way. So,
okay, in which case he will roll out the way. Can he substitute athletics for his evade? Or
yes. No, it has to be an evade.
Right. Okay. In which case he's going to try to evade the
okay.
the attack.
Yeah. Try to just for ease. If you are playing Oki,
I forgot.
So,
so he got a 6.
Yeah. So he rolls out the way, and he is now landed prone.
Did I get any level of success? Can I do a defensive?
No, he's just rolling out the way too. There's no attack coming in. He will just be squashed. Well, actually, he's not going to be squashed. He's going to be trapped underneath the spider. So he actually rolled out the way to avoid that. Well,
but he's prone now, is he?
He is prone now. Yeah, like any evade. Okay,
Right.
Gulliver, Bartleby, and Hengist, you are now all prone underneath the spider. Okay, so each one of you are actually prone because that's the spider landing on you as you come down. Okay, so some of you might be actually trapped. Okay, as in a grapple, so you're actually trapped underneath there. Some of you may not, okay, but you don't actually know at this point. Gulliver, you are up on 5.
Okay, so Gulliver's going to take it that his spell is gone because he can't hold it anymore. Is he able to crawl out from underneath this spider, or?
Yeah, so you can actually make although it's landed on top of you, you're prone, you can sort of like try to squeeze your way out of it if need be, and in which case you need to roll a brawn roll.
Oh joy. I'm under this spider forever,
and that will be an action.
So that will be on.
That's on.
Okay.
That's on. It's round 1, turn 1,
yeah.
and you're acting on 5.
No.
Yeah. So you try to scurry out of there, but the abdomen of the spider is well and truly on you.
What happens with my spell now? Do I roll my invocation?
Are you casting it?
Well, no, because I can't. But all I wanted to know was for magic point wise, or does it just take it that it's 2 magic points gone?
The spell's just gone now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the magic points go as well. Yeah.
The magic points. Yeah, because you would have cast it and held it, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's what you were
Right,
doing
yeah.
earlier on.
That's why I didn't know whether or not to roll my invocation because it.
Oh yes,
depends on
yeah. Oh, I see what you
success
mean.
I
Yeah,
get
yeah. Go for
to
it.
see how many points I lose. If you see what I mean.
That's fair enough. While you're doing that, yeah. So,
I just lose the 2 points.
Yeah. Bartleby, you're up.
I have 0 initiative though, don't I?
No, but it just means that you're further down the line. You can still act. It just means that you're further down the line. You know, so
Gotcha.
everybody will actually act before you, and that's because of the surprise aspect. So you're sort of like the last, but you still got your 2 action points that you would normally have.
I thought I lost those action points for some reason.
No, but you can only use them as defensive actions. So you can't sort of like, you can crawl out, but you can't attack or anything. Yeah. So
brawn.
Yeah, roll your brawn roll.
All right,
It's better than mine.
Some theist strength.
Yeah. So you do you want to go northeast or you probably go northeast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like someone, Gully, should have dissed Amriel.
Okay. Yeah, and Hengist, what would you like to do?
Can Hengist try and stand up or crawl his way out from under the spine?
You would have to crawl out before you can stand up. So it'll be
That's fine.
yeah.
That's
So brawn roll first. Yeah. So you managed to crawl your way out, and that is Hengist crawling, and
Sorry,
that's
when
it.
the spider landed, which way did was Hengist crushed? Was he crushed backwards or forwards?
It doesn't
On
matter.
the
You
wall, forwards on the back?
we will assume, just for simplicity's sake, that you're now as you landed, you turned and crawled out, so you're literally facing the spider
I'm crawling
now.
out, facing up. Awesome.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so that's combat turn done. Okay, so this is combat turn 2. So the first thing that's going to happen, the spider is going to attack you, Hengist, since you're right in the line of attack. Yeah, and it shoots out a web that whizzes past you and sort of like lands just to one side of you. Oki.
So where's Oki standing at the moment? What happened to him? Did he make his?
He evaded, so he wasn't trapped underneath.
Okay, so he's going to use his next action to stand up.
Okay.
So that will be. He only has 2 action points, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's him done.
So that's him done. He's up and ready. Gulliver, you're up.
Yeah, Gulliver's going to once again try to scramble out from underneath this monstrosity.
Yeah. So you're out. You're out, and
He'll just crawl straight out the back. Right.
Yeah, Bartleby.
I'm gonna stand.
Cool. Yeah, so you can just stand up as normal. So that'll be your action.
Yeah.
And Hengist.
Hengist wants to stand as well, but my next question was, so because Hengist had things in his hands when he was flattened by the spider, did he drop like his sword and the torch?
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Maintain a grip on them?
So
That's kind of an important question.
let's roll. Let's do multiply your dexterity by 5, then roll a d100.
Okay.
What's your dex?
Hang on. What was it? D100. So it's 75 in total.
Okay.
What, 51.
So you keep hold of the torch.
Okay, and same again for.
Yeah. And you keep hold of the your weapon. Yeah. What do you?
Awesome. Yeah, he's going to stand up then.
Okay, cool. Excellent. And turn 3. Does anybody have action points left?
Hengist does.
Yeah, and Gulliver does.
Okay. So I'm going first. So this is the spider on its 3rd action point. Misses again. And Gully.
Okay, Gulliver's going to stand up.
Excellent.
He's not going to roll to see whether or not he dropped his magical disc, because he's just taken that this spider just came straight down and just landed on him.
Excellent. Okay then. So we're now going into round. I'm just upping yours to 1 just so I can see it better. So this is now. That I think that's everybody done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hengist would have did it in that one.
Yeah.
He can't do anything.
He can't do anything. Yeah. So this is now combat round 2, turn 1. Okay. So this is spider attack at you, Hengist.
Am I now back up to 15 again? Yeah.
No, your initiative stays like that.
Oh,
The
right.
only thing is now that you may do offensive actions.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, I can't. It's gone wrong. My initiative's gone wrong.
I need some new dice rolls, please. I can't hit for toffee. Okay.
Oki is now stood up, a staff in hand. He's going to take a swing with his quarterstaff on
Cool.
to the side of this giant spider.
Yep. Ah, the dice isn't against us all tonight. Does he want to use a point of luck?
He has 2 points.
It's probably
Yes,
not
he
worth
is.
it this early on in combat, but it's up to you.
No, he won't.
Okay then, Gulliver, you're up.
Okay. Seeing that he's still got his disc in his hand, Gulliver is going to start casting. I've got the wrong card sheet open. He's going to start casting the same magic that he was casting last time.
So he's spell casting, yeah.
Yeah.
Bartleby, what would you like to do?
I would like to perform a miracle.
Oh yes, nice.
I want to stare at Gulliver and begin to pray quietly to myself, not making a show of it like I do with my other prayers.
Excellent.
And that's it. That's exhort, right? I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. Can I use a point of luck to reroll?
Yes, if you wish.
I do wish. I wish so much, but I'm just going to get rid of that point and then add an extension onto my prayer. Yeah.
Which actually works. Link the spell for me, please.
This one.
Oh yeah, so the target will receive no level of fatigue. Yeah. Is that going on to Gully?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Gully, you have a little heart on you now that you cannot be fatigued. Hengist, what would you like to do?
Having recovered and crawled out from this spider, from under the spider, he's going to let out a growl and attack it.
Yeah, cool.
I got a 24.
Nice.
Yeah, and the spider, as your sword comes towards it, the spider just sort of like lifts its leg up, and you sort of like sweep underneath it. I think 2 successes is means that there's no effect. I think. I just need to. Yeah, no benefit. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So so that's a miss. And the spider's taken one of its parrying shots off. Cool. That's your attack. Yeah, is that everybody done? For turn 1, yeah. Okay, into turn 2 then. And Spider fights back.
That's another 78. That's 78. You keep it.
I know. What's wrong with him?
It must be the torch Hengist is holding in his offhand. It must be putting him off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it attacks and misses. Yeah, Oki.
Okay, he's going to swing his quarterstaff this time at the... And misses.
And misses. Okay, Gulliver, use casting.
Yeah, so this is the second... this is the second turn, so Gulliver's spell comes off.
Cool.
So...
Can you roll a D20 because I've got additional hit locations.
All right. Okay. You are entitled. Oh well. First of all, I need to see whether or not the spell works.
Oh yes. I thought you did that.
No.
No. Okay.
I did a. I linked the spell so you could see.
Oh yes, got you. Yeah. So
and
invocation
also
then.
Giving you a thing of your evade. Sorry. The character sheet. So Gulliver successfully casts his spell as he thrusts out the disc, and the grey smoke billows from the centre of it.
Yeah, I have no action points left because I've attacked, parried, and attacked. So I've used up all my 3, so I can't evade.
So the smoke wraps itself round your 5.
It's its mid right leg.
Okay, and there's a crackle of electricity and 7 points of damage.
Nice.
So that's 4, 2. So yeah, so it crackles out, and you see the smoke wrapped round the spider's leg, and sort of like start to crunch down on the exoskeleton of this spider. And you notice that it cracks through, and all of a sudden you notice that you're holding on. The smoke is holding on to a leg that you've plucked from the socket of the spider, and you've actually dislocated the whole leg from the beast. The beast just sort of like rocks for a second and readjusts its legs. Bartleby, you're up.
I would like to move behind Gulliver within high-fiving range.
Yeah, that's easily. Yeah, so that's your movement. Excellent. Hengist.
Hengist is going to continue sort of like attacking this thing.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
Critical.
that's a hit. So I need to know your 2 specials first, because I've got no action points left to defend. So two specials first, please.
He's going to use bypass armor. Is that all right? And then bleed.
Okay.
And then what was it? What do I roll? A 1d20?
A D20, yeah.
20. I got a 4.
Yeah, so rather than that's actually one of these back legs, but I'm going to adjust the result to it's one of the front legs because they were all the same. And yeah, so I need to know your damage.
Damage with sword is 3.
3 points of damage. Let me just put the bleed on. So 3 points. Yeah, cool. Front right leg. Yeah, so you crack through the you manage to find the joint of the front leg, and you crack through it, and you feel the flesh of the beast underneath, but you don't manage to take it off or anything like that. It seems to be quite happily attached there. Is that the round finished?
Gulliver still has actions.
No, that turn. Sorry, is that the turn?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. So this is turn 3. Who's still got?
Hengist.
And
Yeah.
Gully.
Okay then. So Gully, you're first.
Okay, so still having the spell in effect, Gulliver sort of like pulls back his hand and then pushes it forward as the smoke lets go of this leg and then wraps around another location, which is going to be the 17.
17. That's the other front leg to what Hengist hit.
Okay. For crackles with electricity, doing 4 points of damage.
Does that bypass armor? No.
If it doesn't do natural natural armor.
It doesn't bypass natural armor.
But natural or magical protection reduces the damage.
Yeah. Okay. Then. So it sort of like cracks round it, but nothing actually. It seems to go a little bit through the chitin exoskeleton, but not completely through it. Hengist, you're still your action. Yeah.
Hengist, having been successful last time, he's going to attack again.
Cool. Yeah, that's a normal hit. So just one crit, please.
He's going to choose location.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
And he wants to pick the same leg that he just attacked.
Okay, cool.
And then it's just straight damage. He gets 4 this time.
Yeah, so you notice that that leg, sort of like you manage to hit it again, and the beast staggers for a while. Just 1 second, I just need to roll its endurance. Yeah, and it seems to sort of like fall over a bit, but then right itself. Who's this? Has somebody got a sus on their microphone? Or is it the music? There.
I hear I'm still hearing Longshanks's.
I don't hear it now. It's not. I just wondered whether or not somebody had a shush on the microphone. Okay then. Yeah, cool. So this is combat round 3. Turn 1. Bartleby, you need to make a fatigue check, don't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're winded, and to the beginning of each round. What was your original roll for your bleed? Attack. That's fine. Okay.
It was a 2.
It was a 2. Thank you. Excellent. Okay then. So this is round 3, turn 1. Spider's turn. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, sorry. It rolled to me, but it was an 81. So don't worry. I've got it. I've got it on. You can watch it back in the stream. It was an 81. Yeah. So that spider misses. Oki.
Having missed a couple of times, can Oki use maybe his augment staff?
Yeah. So that'll take him his spell casting, and he just needs to, if down next to it, it should say something like 53%, and there's a dice roll next to it.
Which he gets.
Yeah, what intensity was it cast at?
Max intensity's 3.
Okay then, so his awareness has been kicked off, so he's no longer aware, because I think he can only do a maximum of 3, or is it 6?
I don't know. Where would I find that out?
It's on his...
maximum practice talents is 6.
6.
So he can
Yeah,
have-
so he's got his augment staff and yeah, so that's fine. So his spell casting is there. Gulliver, you're up.
Okay. Gully's going to try for another location with his rack spell.
Okay, cool.
He wants to try to get it round something other than a leg. If you see what I
Okay,
mean.
so there's actually 17.
It's the same leg.
It's the same leg. Do some damage for me. Same as before.
7 points this time.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Well, it
then.
was 7 the first time, then 4, and then
Yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. Well, yeah. So that leg cracks off. Okay, then hang on. I need to roll something. Oh yeah. Sorry, I can't roll it yet. Okay. Bartleby, you're up.
I'm going to pray to my. No, I'm not going to. I'm actually sensing the energy leaving me. I'm going to move up within smacking distance.
Okay, so a nice movement. Yeah. Okay. That was spell. That was move. Okay. Hengist.
Angus, having been really successful so far in attacking this thing, he's going to continue. He's going to follow up very quickly with another.
Cool.
Strike. And gets.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's a hit. Spider will try to parry the attack and parries it. Okay, and that's it. So we're on to turn 2. Turn 2. Spider. Okay. The spider is going to try to disengage. So he's going to roll his evade to try to disengage. Right. So he's on 53 out of 80. So Hengist, you roll first. You fail. So he can move away from you. Bartleby, you're in a combat range.
Yeah. So I roll evade as well.
Evade, yeah.
He's not getting away from Bartleby this. Well, yes, he is.
Yes, it is. And you're not actually in combat range, Gulliver,
right.
because you're not actually... I don't need to get out of combat from you. You're in spell casting range, but you're not actually near me. So the spider suddenly goes...
What about Oki? Does Oki get it?
Oh, yeah,
No.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I forgot about Oki. Yeah, he needs his... No. So the spider suddenly goes... sort of like dashes up, upwards, into the... up towards the roof. And so he's got a lot smaller now, and he sort of like gets away from Hengist and Oki and Bartleby as it shoots up there. Oki's go.
Oki wants to switch in his staff to one hand. He wants to. I thought he had daggers.
He does.
All right. Oh, knives, is
Yeah.
it? All right. He's going to.
So he's going to ready a weapon.
He's going to quickly grab a knife from his.
Yeah. What he normally does is spins his staff round, so it's on one hand with the staff behind his back. Does that make sense? A bit like he is in the token, and then draws his knife ready to fire. Gulliver, you're up on 5.
How high is this thing up? Can I?
What's the range of the spell?
15 meters.
Oh yeah, easily.
Okay, is it still attached to its like? Well, as it goes up, Gulliver will release it and then go back for because he took the leg off the last one, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he'll
do a d20.
6.
6. Yeah, that's one of its mid legs. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. That's actually no. That leg's missing. Oki took that off.
Shall I roll again?
Yeah. I'll keep the 5. You keep the 5, but there's
A 1.
yeah, that's the other one of the back legs, which seems to be suitable.
Okay.
As it sort of like goes up, you whack some damage onto that. Bartleby.
Having gotten up here, just as it's leaving, I guess I'll absently kind of wave my club where it was. Then I'm going to see if I can throw my club up to hit it, which I know is a very slim shot. What would I roll?
Do you have throw club in your combat style?
Definitely not.
Okay then, so you will just chuck it, but instead of being a standard test, it'll be one test higher. So you're already, I think you're already winded, so it's normally hard. So this will actually be formidable.
Does
You're
it
right,
does
I
it
am
go
very-
on to does it go on to athletics? Well, I thought.
I think at this point, Bartleby, having waved his club kind of where it was, and now thinking about throwing it, has probably wasted too much time to actually make use of that action.
Chugawugga, I really hope it doesn't go on to athletics, because it really would mean that everybody would just plow everything into athletics, because it means that you could use any weapon to that extent. But I'll check it. Yeah. Okay then. Hengist, what do you wish to do?
Angus is just going to sort of like wave the torch in the spider's direction, not trying to catch it, just like shooing it off.
Okay.
Because he's not going to be able to reach and he can't jump very high at all in his armor.
Okay. So in the next round, it's sort of like. Oh, hang on. I was just going to show you where it goes. So can you see it now? Can you still see the spider?
Yeah.
It seems to go. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Can you see all of it now?
Nope.
No.
Middle bit.
Sort of like
downwards.
going into a wall.
Yeah. And as you look up, you notice that there's that seems to be like a pillar. You can probably see either side of it. You can probably see here and here. And you notice now that it doesn't quite go to the top of the ceiling. And it seems to have scuttled underneath there to safety. Right, guys, we will take, because I know that Mr. Bartleby must be absolutely starving. We will have a 10-minute break there. So please, if you're watching the stream, then do go and have a break, and we will be back in 10 minutes.
Bye.